So in 2004, World of Warcraft came out and the Blizzard went out and got that bag and showed the world how much money you can make without having to release new games. They showed the world that you can make more money, in fact, by making fewer games but monetizing them in a smart way. Thus spawned the WoW clone era, but those all failed because companies tried to copy Blizzard's success in a one-to-one fashion.
Hello, I like money.
So then after like 10 years of failing, they were all like, wait, can we just take the idea of a live service game and apply that to games that shouldn't necessarily be live service, aka every other genre besides MMOs? Yes, they all shouted in their best Mr. Krabs impressions and tried to find new ways to monetize games through things other than what would traditionally be considered as content. League of Legends truly popularized the free-to-play model that ultimately many other games would adopt and pushed microtransactions, as they would later be called, as skins, which cost a small fraction of what actual content costs to make, yet bring in so much profit when weighed against the amount of resources it takes to create them. And then other games did it too. In addition to having a box price, they would put microtransactions into games and sell new skins, drip feeding them over time in order to keep the experience of playing the game at least visually fresh. And then Dota 2 had a tournament in 2013, I don't know, maybe you've heard of the Internationals before, where they would introduce the first iteration of the engagement feature that came to be known as the Battle Pass. Couple all of this with manipulative psychology tactics, fast forward 10 years to now, 2023, and you've got the absolute state of modern gaming. But wait, why is Blizzard to blame for everything now when they're only guilty of making World of Warcraft 20 years ago? Well, by the end of this video, you'll be convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt. First, let's go all the way back to the golden age of Blizzard. 1994 to 2004. They released bangers just one after another like it was nothing, setting our standards and expectations impossibly high, which is why we're constantly disappointed these days. If we talk about what games popularized the genre or brought it into the mainstream by becoming the gold standard for that genre, well, all other future games in that genre will be compared to forevermore. Blizzard games have the most crowns. Here, look at this timeline made of pure gold. It's ridiculous. 1994, Warcraft. Banger. 95, Warcraft 2. Banger. 97, 2 years later, Diablo 1. Banger. A year later, they put out StarCraft. And then in that same year, they put out Brood War. Banger. Arguably one of the greatest expansions of all time. Then 2 years later, Diablo 2 comes out. A year after that, Lord of Destruction, another greatest expansion of all time, comes out. And then a year after that, they put out Warcraft 3. And then a year after that, Frozen Throne. Another tied for first, three-way tie for first greatest expansion of all time of any game ever comes out. And then a year after that, just 1 year, World of Warcraft comes out. Anyone gaming during this time knows Blizzard was a mythical dynasty. While the rest of gaming had made only a few more crowned games that brought a certain genre into the mainstream than Blizzard had by itself. Let's compare the last 25 years of the rest of gaming and then Blizzard's most important crowns. 1992, Street Fighter 2 comes out, where the first fighting game combos were ever performed. Fun fact, Street Fighter 2 has only recently been outperformed in sales by Super Smash Bros. Ultimate nearly 20 years later. 2001, Halo put the shooting action for all FPS on the right trigger of controllers instead of the square or B buttons. First time this happened. 2006, Oblivion redefined NPC artificial intelligence while refining the open world concepts previously built in Morrowind. 2009, League of Legends, enough said. 2011, Minecraft, also enough said. 2016 to present, Escape from Tarkov. For the extraction genre specifically, this one is odd. It's slowly warming up to players everywhere and will be truly popularized by Marathon by Bungie in the coming years. Quote me on that. 2017, PUBG still holds Steam records to this day. Not much more to say about that. In the span of 6 years, they popularized nearly half as many genres as all of gaming could in 25 years. And if you don't know, or maybe you forgot, but almost all games now stem from Warcraft 3 in some way. They can almost all be traced back in terms of genre or refinement origins to Warcraft 3's player-made content, popularizing tower defense as an entire genre, Warcraft 3, establishing MOBA as an entire genre and Defense of the Ancients, aka Dota, Warcraft 3. Hero shooters like Overwatch, the hero gaining more skills over the course of a match or having a set number of skills to be used during that match was popularized by Warcraft 3. How the whole idea of a hero or champion in any genre without RPG in the title mostly comes from Warcraft 3. That game proved that if you give the players agency in things like mod support, they'll take full advantage of it and make incredible things. So thank Warcraft 3 for a lot of the modern modding scene too. As a matter of fact, I almost forgot because RIP Flash, but most Flash games that existed stemmed from the idea of Warcraft 3's custom games. Bloons TD wouldn't exist without Blizzard. Let that sink in. Warcraft 3 is arguably the most important game that will ever be made. So this is why we're a bunch of fanboys that constantly complain. Golden Age Blizzard's legacy is just being obliterated in hopes of furthering profit without providing substantial substance that they themselves previously set the standard for. But anyway, companies saw how hard it is to iterate on genres successfully or make a lot of money doing so, and that not just anyone can be revolutionary in game design, no matter how much money you throw at it. They saw League of Legends popularize microtransactions since 2009, then the first Battle Pass come out in Dota 2 in 2013, then how you don't need new expansions or new content to have people keep playing a game. You just need slight tweaks and to drip feed changes over time in the form of live service to keep the experience at least viscerally refreshing. They saw that the exact same way WoW makes enough money from one person in 1 year, equaling over a decade's worth of development and releases, and noticed that's only from the subscription fee, and then saw that microtransactions can cost whatever they want them to cost for a small fraction of a game's development cost, and then pair all that up with engagement features and business ideas like how to catch a whale, and you have yourself modern gaming. And what do League and Dota 2 have in common, or anything to do with Blizzard, you might be asking? Well, they're both MOBAs, which originated from, that's right, class, Warcraft fucking 3, a Blizzard Entertainment original. You might be thinking, oh, but Blizzard didn't make Dota, the user named Yule made it back in 2003, which is fair, but they're at least partially to blame for providing the means to do so. Plus, Yule was inspired by a custom game that was made in StarCraft called Aeon of Strife, so again, Blizzard's fault. First, live service, then MTX, then battle passes, high expectations, set and yet never met. So go ahead and blame Blizzard for everything. I know I do.